Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today we're going to tie a CDC Midge. The hook that I have in vise, this is a size 16 light wire scud hook. Midges can grow up to size 12 or go down to size 28 or smaller. But 16, 18, maybe 20 I'll tie, but any smaller than that, my eyes aren't working that great for that. But anyway, I'm going to use some black thread, and this is 12/0 Vivus. I'm going to start that thread about in the middle, right about where it's at the point of the hook. And we're going to bring this back, and we're going to come down around the bend. Maybe about a third of the way around the bend. Now for the body, I'm going to use, this is gray, dyed gray Goose Biot. You don't want to use anything that's going to add weight. So I'm going to take a single Goose Biot. And the Goose Biots, and a lot of Biots, you'll see that they have a darker side to them, and you can't really see it here, but it's on the bottom here. So I'm going to tie that in with that dark side to the bottom. Well, let me grip that a little bit closer. There we go, and we'll get it on my side there. I'm going to just give it a couple of more wraps down the back and then come up. Now you want to keep your body level. If you have flat thread, you can twist it counterclockwise and it'll flatten it right out. You can also go ahead and make a taper on that body also. Now before I wrap that Goose Biot, I'm going to take a little bit of head cement. You can use a little bit of super glue if you want, and we're going to put just a little bit of head cement on that thread. Now I will take my hackle pliers and we're going to wind this. And you don't have to have touching turns. You can actually have a little space in between, that black showing through. I'm gonna make that one just a little bit wider there. And that will be fine. And we bring it up to the thread. When you want to, your finished tie off wants to be where your thread started. So I went a little bit further. I'm just going to bring this back to where the thread is hanging just in front of the point of the hook. Go ahead and trim that off. Next, I'm going to tie that down and bring that back once again. Now most midges have a little red right close to the wing there, or by the head. I'm going to use, this is a ostrich herl, and this came off the tip of the ostrich herl, tip of the feather, way up the top here. I'm going to hold the tip, and I'm actually going to stand them up. Then I'm going to tie that in. And we can trim off that excess. Go ahead and secure that down. Now we're going to go ahead and wrap that. Get my hackle pliers once again. And we're just going to put a few wraps here, 3 or 4 turns. Yep, hackle pliers came off. Just go ahead and grab that again. I'm actually going to kind of stroke them to the back there. There we go. You see how they move to the back when I stroke them there? Just about 3 turns on this. And secure that. And we can trim away the excess. Secure the rest of that. And now we're going to put the wing on. And if you're using flat thread, you can actually use your bodkin needle and separate the thread, but this is 12/0, so it's very skinny. I'm not going to try to separate it. I'm going to make a dubbing loop. And we're just going to let that sit. First I'm going to put a little bit of wax on there. Got this wax stream side leaders, and it's basically it's a 100% beeswax, but it's basically in the chapstick tube. And I don't raise it above it, I just push it into it with my thumb. Push the thread into it with my thumb. Now I'm going to take a natural gray CDC feather, and I'm going to put it in my dubbing block. And you take your bodkin needle, and with the stem centered right on the slice in your dubbing block, push it down inside, and then you'll have this. Now we take our chip clip, I like to get that whatever material it is, I like to try to keep it close to the edge of the chip clip, like so. Now we're going to trim that off. You can see on this, there's CDC up top. I didn't quite get it perfectly centered down the dubbing block. Now we're going to take the chip clip. I'm going to open up the dubbing block, or I'm going to open up my dubbing loop. I'll put that right inside and then slide it off. And you have to keep this tight in order to make sure that you have all your dubbing, or all your material stays inside. And then we're just going to go ahead and give it a spin. And we can have ourselves a CDC hackle without a big stem being in the way. You could go ahead and pull all of the material to one side. And we're going to wrap this. And it's not going to look good until we're done. Just keep that CDC pulled towards the rear. As we're going, you can see as soon as you let go, it wants to shoot forward. There we go, and one more turn. And we're going to tie that in. Going to take my poke and snip aka cuticle trimmer, and remove that dubbing loop thread. And there's the second. Now I'm going to take a little bit of head cement and put some head cement on my thread. And take my whip finish. Once, twice, 3, 4, anywhere 3 to 5 wraps will be good. Tighten that up. And now you want to get all of the material on the top. So there's a couple ways to do it. You can actually just, if you have one of those cans of air for cleaning your keyboard, you can blast it and that'll push everything to the top. You can do it like this, trying to get it all evenly towards the top, or you can blow on it also. But you got to blow on it pretty hard. And also a hair dryer will do the trick. So everything's on top. And now you don't want to trim, you don't want to cut this. Just take your fingers and just break that off. You could leave it a little long right now off the vise, and then when you get to the water you can break it to the size that you want for any particular hatch that's happening. But I'm going to go ahead and break this. I'm just using my thumbnail, little bit that I have. Yep, could even get that smaller. And you could really get that, break that down nice and low. And you can make it a puff there. It's probably gonna how it's gonna end up after you cast it and the wind blows through it. And here we have a CDC Midge. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. Please visit my sponsors. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.